Time now, 13 minutes past 8.
The Radio Waymo Breakfast.
Issues of the day under T-Radar.
T-Radar joining us in Taupo today. Hello to you, T-Radar.
Well, hello to you.
And what brings you to Taupo? What are you doing there?
Well, I'm sort of down there for the Taupo Erupt Festival, so a few shows. I've got a show for some school children. A bit of chat with some people.
Is the Erupt Festival? Is that where they will the volcano to do its thing again?
I'm hoping that's not the case. In fact, when I arrived yesterday, a chap came to me, said to me, he said, "Oh, so you're down for the eruption?" And I went, "To be honest, I wasn't aware of that. Is this Iceland?" No, but wonderful festival. Yeah, a great deal of fun.
You gotta hope not, because the last time that one went off, it was a biggie. It was huge.
It was a biggie. I was at the museum yesterday, and there were photographs of it, and you think, bloody hell, that is something that amazing to see. You don't really want to be around.
No.
So hopefully that doesn't happen while I am down here.
Exactly.
That would be good.
Yes. Now,
in the meantime,
first topic. Civil servants have been told to put their political views out on the table.
Yeah, they're being encouraged to discuss their political activities with managers and also the political interests of close family friends, apparently, just to know where. There's always been. Nowadays,
sounds like we've got a bit of a difficult connection with T-Radar this morning. Morning, T-Radar, we've got a bit of a difficult connection going on there.
Oh, have you?
But we've got you back now. So start again with civil.
I'm on what was formerly a very good actual into the wall broadband connection, but clearly that's what happens. Perhaps I've tempted fate.
Tempted fate, perhaps.
We're being interrupted by volcanic activity.
Maybe, but we were talking about civil servants, and they're meant to be telling their bosses about what they're up to.
That's right. Yes, them and family members, just to sort of see where they lie. I'm sure that they're not going to sort of fire anyone, but I guess if they're in sort of compromising positions where there could be a bit of toing and throwing about what they believe, maybe they don't want any sort of any Greenpeace people there who may be working for them, in the mining area or anything like that, so they may be getting rid of those. But I suspect that it'll all stay fairly above board. But the most astounding thing about the civil servants is how much they're paid. More than 3 times likely bureaucrats are to earn 6-figure salaries than other workers.
Gosh.
Astounding, really. What does it say? 10% of public servants from 5 of the biggest departments earn more than 100,000. So that is a significant number of people slurping away on the old public trough. Yes,
but no longer will people who work at Mount Eden Prison be slurping at the public trough.
No, they're coming out yesterday with all these savings that the public sector can make by handing over the Mount Eden Central Remand Prison to a private firm. And you thought, well, if a private firm can make savings, why can't the prison make savings? And there's all kinds of figures being bandied about. And there's, will they lower the number of guards? And, will they run all sort of the remand programs? I guess it's sort of prison for profit. Something that a lot of people are a little uncomfortable about, having private companies looking after our criminals. So, but nonetheless, if they can do it cheaper than the Crown, I suppose people will think, well, go for it. After all, the argument, I suppose, is that they wouldn't be there if they hadn't committed crimes. But then again, it is a remand prison, so they haven't actually been found guilty of committing any crimes yet. So we'll have to wait and see. But they're expecting quite substantial savings.
Let's go to another form of slurping at the public trough. Jim Anderson's looking at shifting the trough that he's slurping on.
He's looking at doubling his trough. Yes, he's not only going to be the MP, but he's also running for the mayor of Christchurch. He's saying that he can do both. There's a lot of conjecture about whether or not you can. A 72-year-old man, sure, he looks fighting fit, but I'm not sure the people of Christchurch, but really it's up to them to have their vote, want an MP or a mayor who's also an MP. He says, look, it's only a couple of meetings a month. Well, if that's the case, leave it to somebody else who can attend those meetings. And he's also saying, look, I'm going to donate my mayoral fee to charity, but even then you think, come on, one or the other, slurping away, doing all of that thing, it doesn't seem fair, really. Bob Parker, I think, has come out and says, oh, no, you can't do that. So we'll see. The people of Christchurch will make their decision, the wise folk that they are.
Yeah, but of course Bob would say that. But Bob, it seems like he hasn't been very popular. That's just the view I get from up north.
Yes, he seems to have fallen by the wayside. He was very popular there for a while, and then all of a sudden he's sort of drifted off the popularity stakes. He's on a raft heading out into sort of political oblivion, from what you would gather. But not living in Christchurch, not entirely sure what's going on. So it'll really be up to them. Maybe someone will get a new job, a chance to become the MP for Wigram. God knows that Germaniton's been there long. Certain irony as well is at one stage, I believe in his career, he mooted that anyone over 60 should be forced to retire. He's now 72 and still continuing on.
Very good point. What about this kid who was stuck inside a toy?
He was stuck. Look, if anyone, there's a great YouTube clip going around about, you know, the big those big things with the grippy hand, and you go down and you grab the toy out. Well, you never do grab the toy. You just put your money in, and the grippy hand sort of gently massages a toy that you fail to pick up. Auckland Airport the other day, a young child managed to climb into the machine, and it was trapped. Their parents obviously couldn't grip it with a useless gripping thing and thought, well, we'd better get someone to help. And people are going, oh, how is it possible this to happen? There's a great YouTube clip up where a kid does exactly this. It climbs up into the machine, fossicks round, and then climbs back down and out of the machine again. Fantastic. I suspect there'll be a spate of children attempting to get into the machine, shoved in, no doubt, by their parents in order, with their frustration, not getting cuddly toys.
Well, in order also to get big hits on YouTube. There could be the next...
That's exactly right.
Next Bieber.
Yes, but not the scariest thing that happened for the week, obviously. Look, my story of the week, and again it goes back to people just moan about nothing. Wendy Munn, I think she's from Southland somewhere, near Invercargill, opened a can of peaches, or pears, and there was a pear carved into the shape of a demonic face. And rather than going, how awesome is this, she went, well, this is absolutely disturbing, I demand compensation. The supermarket people offered her $30, and she said that's not enough. And they've had some form of investigation to try to figure out where this demonic face has come from. And the best they can come up with is that maybe someone in a factory in China, possibly up to 2 years ago, carved the face at a check and then put it back in again. So somewhere in China, there was someone really doing this all the time, casting them in a way like a message in a bottle.
Yeah.
It's a pear in a can of budget pear halves, hopefully waiting for someone to come out and go, oh, God, here's a demonic pear. Good for them, I say.
Someone is having a very good laugh at our expense.
Exactly. And look, to the woman who's got that, and she's bleating about it. It's like, come on, it's pretty funny, really.
Yeah.
And this, it's not going to kill you.
Have a laugh.
It doesn't kill you, you're stronger, unless, of course, you lose all of your limbs.
Well, that is true. Or lose your town, which I hope that Taupo won't do this week with their Eruption Festival.
Thanks. We'll speak again next week.
Thanks, T Radar. I look forward to it.